Hello, my name is Blake Tacy. This is the problem 4. Coding problem set 4. It's the word game one. Um, I've already I've already wrote the code. Um, I wrote it a few days ago. I'm just now getting around to the video, so I'm just gonna go through and explain what I did. Uh, so the first one we need to do is the get word score. Also, put comments down. Let me remember. Uh, So for the get word score, we're returning the score for a word, assumes the word is a valid word. These are the conditions. So to begin with, create a list called score. That's an empty list that we're going to use to store the score of each letter in the word. And then make the variable sum a, so the sum of all the scores, and that's what we're going to return. So the total final score for the word. Then we do a loop. So for each letter in the word, we do score.append Scrabble letter values dot get L0. So we use the Scrabble letter constant to find the score of each letter, the L, in the dictionary, the Scrabble. If the letter is found, return its score. So if the letter's found, return its score. If not, we use the 0 just to get a blank score. And then once this is ran, we append this to the score list to get the score for that letter. And we go through each letter in the word and get its score. Then we set up the word length, and we equal that to the length of the word string. And then we need to check, so we check if the word is nothing, then you get 0 points. Else, if the word length is not the length of the hand, we calculate the score by doing the sum of the score. So add all of the letters, and then multiply that by the word length. And then we have another else if. If it is the length of the hand, then do the same thing, but this time add your 50 bonus points, and then return the sum. So that is the get word score. And then, let's see, what's the next one? Pretty sure it's this one, yeah. So this one we're gonna remove. We gotta remove the letters that have already been used from the user. So we cannot mutate the original hand dictionary. So to begin with, we're gonna create a temporary hand and copy all the information from the original hand onto it using this. And then we're gonna loop through each letter in the word again. And in this loop, we're going to check if that letter is in the hand. So if it's in the hand, then we're going to take the temp hand and remove 1 from its value spot, which is what the letter would be. So we'll remove 1 from its value spot, and then we would just return the temp hand. So if you have 2 A's, so it'd be A semicolon 2. If the user inputs A or it's in the word they put, you're going to subtract 1 from that 2, which will leave you with 1 more A left over. And if it's 0, it just gets rid of the letter. It no longer exists. So there's the update hand. Problem 3, we're going to test word validity. So this one returns true if the word is in the word list and is entirely composed of letters in the hand. Otherwise, return false. And we do not want to mutate the hand or the word list. So we're going to create a temporary hand like before, using hand.copy. Then we're going to check if the word is not in the word list. So if the word is not within the word list, return false, because it's not a word. You can't get points for that word. And then we're going to check for each letter in the word. We'll check if that letter, so if that letter is not in the temp hand, or the value of that letter is 0, then return false. So if they input a wrong letter, return false, or if the letter is run out of uses, return false. If neither of these statements are executed, then we're going to subtract 1 from the temp hand, or we're going to subtract 1 from the letter, because that means that the letter was found. And then we're going to also return true if neither of these returned false first, because if these return false, it will end, and it will no longer go or iterate through the function. It will not run the rest of the code afterwards. So that was problem 3. Problem 4, we got 2 separate functions. So the first one is calculate the length of the hand. We can just do this by returning the length of the hand. It's pretty simple. The next one, we're going to play the hand. This is the longer code, but it was nice that it had instructions. It had a layout. So we're going to keep track of the total score. So we'll make a total score variable, set it to 0. As long as there are still letters left in the hand. So while the hand length is greater than 0, meaning there is still letters in the hand, keep running this while loop over and over. Then we're going to display the hand to the user, and then ask the user for input and store it within user input. And then we're going to check if the input is a single period. So if user input is a period, then in the game, break out of the loop. Otherwise, otherwise we need to check if the word is not valid. So if it's not the is valid, which will return true or false, then reject the word. So invalid word with a new line character. Oh. Otherwise, tell the user how many points the word earned and update the total score in one line, followed by a blank line. So we're going to add the word score to the total score, and then tell the user that they earned this many points for that word, and the total score is this, and print a new line. And then we're going to update the hand, and then set the hand to the updated hand. And then that will repeat until they enter a period. And then we'll figure out if the game is over by checking if the length of the hand is 0, then they ran into letters. Or if the user input was a period, then tell them the game was over via user input and print out their total score, or their total points. That was problem 4. We got problem 5. This is the last one. This is the play game function. For this one, we're going to set the current hand to nothing. So that every time you play the game again, there is not a current hand that is stored within this function for the R. And then we're going to do while true to make this loop continuously run until we break out of it. Then We're going to ask the user to enter in for a new hand, R to replay the last hand, or E to end the game. And then we're going to grab the user input, and we're going to input it as lower so that none of the functions get confused, and it can check for the points, because I believe that's in all lower cases. And then you can use if-else's. I used a switch case or a match case. So my match was the user input. So whatever the user inputs determines which case it will use. So if they choose in, then you're going to play, or you're going to update the current hand to be a hand with the parameter of the hand size, which is 7. Yeah, 7. And then you're going to play the hand using a copy of the current hand so that you do not mutate the current hand, the word list, and the hand size of 7. And you're going to want to copy this because if you play this without copying it, you could mutate the current hand, which you don't want to do because you want to keep the original current hand before playing. So you can do the R statement, or R case. In the R case, you want to check if the current hand is none. So if they haven't played a game yet, tell them that. Tell them to play a new game first. It will re-go through. If they do have a current hand, then you're going to play it again with a copy of it. Play that out. And if they enter E, thank them for playing, break out of the loop, and end the function. And this is my default case. If they enter anything besides N, R, and E, print invalid choice, and it will restart back to the original start of the loop. And that was all, so we'll run it. So, we'll do N for a new deal. I'm horrible at this. We'll do May. So we earned 24 points, updated the score. I don't have a clue. So we'll put a period to end the game. We ended the game via user input, and we gained a total score of 24 points. If we replay that hand, we'll have our original hand that we had. We'll type something. So these letters were not in the hand, and they did not make a word, so we got an invalid word and did not get points. If we do May again, we'll see that we gained 24 points again and updated our score. Period. End it. And then E to end the game. And thank you for playing. And that was my problem for PS4A. Thank you.